Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about a petty but worse than that, really, I would say, dangerous and anti constitutional, not in the sense of really being an attack on the constitutional bulwark principle of people being entitled to legal representation of Trump's latest jerky, petty move. So, Jack Smith, career public servant, accepted an appointment as special counsel, did an exemplary job, brought cases against Donald Trump that were absolutely, in the parlance of the Department of Justice, righteous. Those cases amply supported in facts and in law, and Trump was able to elude them only through the happenstance, I'd say, in terms of the law, the sort of sui generis, that's lawyer speak for, once in a lifetime break of winning the election, which had just nothing to do with the merits of the lawsuit. Trump, though, cannot let it go. So many lawyers are stepping up to try to give support to people who are being targeted by the Trump administration. No one's being targeted worse than Jack Smith. So he has high quality Washington counsel, Covington and Burling, a storied firm that's representing him on a pro bono basis, the absolute best of the legal profession, and a totally laudable representation. This is a guy who's been a career public servant, so doesn't have the millions of dollars it'll take to fight what would be and will be completely bogus, unfair effort by Donald Trump for personal reasons, but backed by the resources of the federal government. So Trump turns around and signs a bill revoking the security clearances of certain lawyers at Covington who need them in order to do national security law, and seeking to cancel all contracts that the administration has with Covington, just to punish them any and every way he can for the unpardonable sin of representing a client in the best traditions of the legal profession. So it's profoundly petty, of course, but it's much worse than that. It is, such a, well, one other thing that is quite clearly, this mixing of this use of government power for personal purposes to punish or have reprisals. What is the possible public interest for a president who is charged under the Constitution with taking care that laws be faithfully executed, of yanking security clearances or taking away contracts that otherwise would be useful and fruitful for the federal government because they've agreed to represent Jack Smith? So it's sending a terrible message, and it's a message that I believe will land. That is, a lot of law firms are stepping up to do the right thing, and it's unconscionable that in doing so that they're already making a sacrifice of doing this work for free, and it's in the tradition of representing really good causes. That's what you do in pro bono cases. It is an absolute righteous cause to represent Jack Smith. And so for Trump to now take the levers of governmental power that he's supposed to exercise only on our behalf, and do it to just stick it to Smith, is wholly corrupt. It really is. It's a smaller version of the same corruption that got him impeached in both impeachments, but certainly the first, where he basically tried to railroad President Zelensky into doing something for his own personal political interests to harm the Biden family. This is the very soul of an authoritarian leader, completely placing his own interests above those of the Constitution. And by the way, he does it in a particularly jerky, sophomoric way, calling this the signing. He does it while he announces it to reporters while he's signing something, and he quips that this is the deranged Jack Smith signing or bill. And, he says the weaponization of our system by law firms. This just doesn't happen. It's just a lie. Even pro bono work they're doing in order to clog up government as in to push back against unfair harassment of people who have just done their job. It's to try to stop government, and nobody knows about it better than me, and hopefully that will never happen again, he said. A reporter asks him, is this wise? And he says, excuse me, I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. Again, it's a lie. It's a lie, and every time we see it, we have to say it's a lie. You're not targeted if you're charged with actual facts and law that support the charge, and it's manifest that Trump was in the federal charges. So don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians. So a double lie or a double mistake. So somehow Jack Smith's work was really done by Biden. It's, a complete fantasy, but that people buy it. So don't tell me about targeting. So, it's a total Trump cocktail, right? Completely petty, complete capture of governmental power to personal ends, and completely bogus. Some combination of ignorant and flat out lies. So, there you have it. I know that it won't be the thing that brings people the greatest, sense of outrage. There's a lot of people whose jobs and real important government aid has just been pulled out from under them. But as a lawyer, this, to me, is a frontal attack by the President of the United States on the whole legal system and the principle that everyone deserves a lawyer, which is a laudable, important principle, and a principle on which the Constitution basically depends. That's how we develop law in this country. So it's a really odious undermining of that principle, besides being spectacularly petty. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.